Come here. Welcome to the famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes fans. How the devil are you? How's your weekend been so far? At least it's not been ruined like it normally is for us Foxes fans. Well, you know it's Sunday. It's 10 o'clock. So it's time for the famous Foxes Aftermath Show run by us fans in here for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. So get them comments in now. Let's get going. It's kick-off time. Come on, you Foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV, and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Well, it's City's last game before yet another bloody international break and the travel to Man United for the second time in 10 days. It's Ruud van Nistelrooy's last game in charge before Ruud Amorim takes charge tomorrow. Van Nistelrooy has got 2 wins from 3. Can we go there and upset the apple cart? Who knows? But today we've got Adam Stott on from Forever United TV. You might have seen him on Sky, but he is with us today. Morning, Adam. How are you, pal? Are you good?
Fantastic, mate. Absolutely. Was in for another international break. Not like you just said. I hate it, but at least we've got one more game to get through. And yeah, I am confident that we can get through it from the United side of things anyway.
Oh, I bet you are. I've got one more guest on today before we chat. It's also, I've got another, it's a lifelong Leicester fan, a bit like me. He's in Abu Dhabi. His name's Graham Buck. He can't stay long because he's got to go and party with Wayne Lineker before the game at Ocean Beach. Morning, Graham. How are you, pal? Are you good?
I'm good. You know, one night with Wayne Lineker is enough for everybody. So, yeah.
It definitely is. I know Graham's got a pretty decent question for you, Adam, in a minute, but we'll get to that one in a minute. But when at the start of the season, when you had Ten Hag with you, did you ever think you'd be in this situation that after 10 games, you'd be in 13th place with only 13 points? No, 12 points, I think it is.
12 points it is indeed. And it is a bit of a crazy season and quite an important question to ask because it has been a bit of a mental season, hasn't it, for everyone, really? And you said there, like United were in 13th place in the league. I didn't want Ten Hag. I said he should have been gone after the FA Cup final. Everybody knows that. I knows my opinion on Ten Hag. I wasn't. My judgment wasn't clouded by one game against Manchester City. As good as that day was, we finished 8th in the league, which is ridiculous and is unthinkable. Or 13th in the league. And if we beat you guys today, we're 4 points off top 4. What is going on with this season? Seriously, like it's just mental to even say it that way, but. The reality is, we just had a little bit of a giggle, didn't we, off air about Pep losing his 4th game in a row. Yes, he did. You
sound happy about that, Adam. You sound really happy.
Do you know what, mate? Like, I'm obviously right in the heart of Manchester. I have so much banter. I can't even call it banter now at the moment, though. It's just people taking the mick out of United fans because we can't really come back with anything because we're so crap. It's like we can't even argue unless we want to bring in Nostalgia FC again and talk about yesteryear. We haven't got anything really to argue. Like the FA Cup final was great and we beat City. But I do feel like right now, this is the most open that the Premier League has ever been. And it's going back to your glory day and from that amazing season that you boys had. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but I didn't have us in 13th. I didn't have Brighton and Forest in the top 4 just under a third of the way through the season. So it shows you anything is possible in this Premier League and anyone can beat anyone. And yeah, if Ten Hag, no, for us, he's gone. New turning of a page. Hopefully it gets better for us. But I feel like it's not just with United. I feel like this whole league is completely open. The whole relegation is open. The title's open. The top 4, Europe. It could go any way. And it's probably the most exciting Premier League season we've had in years. And like you just said, then you've got the international breaks that just come in and ruin it.
It is. You were just talking about nostalgia there. This is the perfect time for Graham to ask his question that he wanted to ask you, pal. Go on, Graham, all yours.
That's only because I'm an old git. But my question is, and we're obviously playing the wrong bloody Manchester team today. Since Ferguson's retirement, whatever, and you've been through a lot of managers during that period of time. Two-part question. First one, what point did you think this has got to get better and it is going to get better? And do you think having Waldo from the Muppets hanging around, Sir Alex, God praise him, hanging around in the background for all this time, do you think it's had an issue? Do you think it's undermined players? Do you managers and whatever to have him haunting them in the stands for this length of time?
To answer the part one of that, in terms of when did I think it was going to turn around, I actually did fully believe that when Mourinho came in, this was the point where we've actually, we've appointed the right man. He's been at a big club. He's won everything that's needed to be won. He understands the modern game. And these players will respect him because of what he has won. I thought that was the moment for United. Personally, I thought that we should have appointed Mourinho after Sir Alex Ferguson left. He was available and Chelsea took him and we went for Moyes. And that set us back about 5 years instantly because he changed everything. So when Mourinho came in, I thought back to what I was thinking then, like if we got to Sir Alex, should have brought someone in who has managed a big club and knows what Man United are all about. I thought that was the moment. In terms of Sir Alex, he has been part of the problem, to be honest. Hanging around, I'm not sure. Like, he deserves to be in the stands. I think Ineos taking charge of United this season has really opened a lot of United fans' eyes because they've changed things instantly. Taking Sir Alex Ferguson off his ambassadorial role and his 2.1 million a year paycheck, I think was a big step. It's saying basically, look, we are just changing everything right now. And he can still have his box and being around. If he's affected anything, I think it will play on your mind. Like, you've got the greatest manager in Premier League, or in some eyes would say the greatest English Football League manager ever. It's Sir Alex watching over his team. He's allowed to go in the dressing room. Now, that was a rule that was set with his ambassadorial role. He's allowed to go down at times. Obviously, team talks are going on and stuff, but you can imagine that. I can understand how people would look at it and say it's affecting other managers. I think the pressure on Moyes was all there. Was very clear, actually, because obviously everyone knows that Sir Alex had a big part about bringing Moyes in. Some would go as far as to saying, look, I think Sir Alex Ferguson brought in someone who isn't going to succeed just to secure his legacy. I don't necessarily think that was the case, but I don't think it's helped. I think Mourinho definitely was the right call straight off, and we wouldn't be where we are now if we'd have brought Mourinho in straight away after Sir Alex. But I just don't understand the decision making. But the biggest problem at United overall over the last decade is the way the club is run. The ineptitude at board level and the people that were running the club have embarrassed us and taken us back so many years. I mean, if you don't succeed in spending around 1.5 billion in 10 years, then something's wrong with the recruitment and how you have spent that money. And that's where the blame lies. And these players have got away with it for too long now as well because of that. It's like there's an acceptance of standards dropping to a level where all Manchester United fans thought it was unthinkable. But right now, I think we have just turned the page. And Ineos are the only ones that have really seen, for me, the light as to what was going on and what was wrong. And they've rectified so much in such a short space of time. We are, even though the table doesn't say we are, on the right trajectory, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
go on.
No, I'm just saying that there's also a rule in football is if you've got, don't be the manager that follows the manager that was really successful, be the one that follows the manager that doesn't do it after the one that followed the manager that was really successful.
Yep, totally agree with that.
That was a bit confusing there, Graham. I had to think about that one then for a minute. Talking about managers coming in, Ruben Amorim starts tomorrow, but Ruud van Nistelrooy is there. He's there. I think this is his fourth game and final game in charge.
Yep.
There's been talk the last couple of days that Van Nistelrooy might not be there. Amorim might not want him.
Yep, that's been talk of my shows recently as well. He says he's not had communication from the club or from Ruben Amorim yet. I can't see that, to be honest. I'd have thought something would have been in the communication side of things, and he would know where he stands. He don't know. He was talking in his last press conference, which I think sort of made a lot of Man United fans think he probably is leaving, because he was asked the question, will it be emotional? Obviously, because if he leaves now, then that's it. He's done. I can't see him ever coming back to Manchester United in any capacity again. Look, never say never, and managerial status down the line could change. But really, I think that this is his last game. I think everybody's looking at it. Amarim's bringing in 5 coaches already. I don't know where Ruud fits in. And you've obviously got that man there who's come out in a press conference in Van Nistelrooy and said he would like to manage Manchester United. If you're going to come in as a new manager and you've got someone working under you who has said already that he wants your job, it's a little off-putting in a way, isn't it? But look, a lot of United fans have said, look, let's just make a clean break. Let's just get rid of everyone. These players have got no one else to go back to or fall back on but Ruben Amorim and his staff. And there's no way out of it for him. This is Ineos's first appointment of a head coach, and they're going to back him. So United fans, I feel, it's not a definite this, but I feel a lot of thinking on the line of there's no way out of this for these players anymore. There's no one at that club that's going to protect them. There's no one to go back to, one of the older players or anything like that. It's now Amorim. And if you don't like it with him, well, go and speak to the boys in the board, because they won't be having you either.
Oh, yeah, it certainly is. You don't want to make a rod for your own back, do you? You definitely want to say you want to be the manager for in 2 years' time. It's not the right thing to say, really. If you want to work under him, that's for sure. And he's got some big decisions to make today, because being his last game, you've got. I mean, I think there's 5 or 6 injuries that are definitely out today. I mean, we've got Harry Maguire's not playing, is it?
Nope, no,
Slabber's
not in.
A lot of fans keep saying thank you for the 80 million you gave us for a fridge, which was absolutely fantastic. It paid for our training ground that day. Luke Shaw's back in training, but he won't be there today, will he?
No.
Kobe Manu,
he's not
there again. He's not fit. There's Lenny Yoro. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep. Yeah. He's only just started his recovery training from his broken foot, so he won't be back until after the international break. Same as Malacia. So Shaw, Malacia, Lenny Yoro, Kobe Mainu. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of injuries. Mason Mount and Christian Eriksen are both back and available for starting selection. So we have got a little bit of strength in depth when it comes to midfield again now. So that's a bonus for Ruud today.
Do you think the Carling Cup, not Carling Cup game, sorry, Carabao, but that's showing my age there, Carling Cup, the Carabao Cup, do you think that will have any bearing on today's game?
When it comes to that showing your age thing, I just call it the League Cup, so I don't fall in that chat every time. I just call it the League Cup for out, because I can't remember how. There's been loads, hasn't there? Sorry, just ask that question again. Sorry, mate. I lost it then.
Will the hold on a minute, Reedy. Will the Carabao Cup game have any bearing on today's game? Because you only made about 3 changes for that game, where we had a full, I think it was 8 or 9 changes. You nearly put out a full strength squad. Yes, you beat us quite convincingly 5-2. But what can you see? Will that have any bearing on the game?
No, not one bit. Not one bit. I know the players that you've got to come back in. I know you had no forward line whatsoever. I mean, Ayew has secured you some vital points this season, but he isn't your starting striker. I know that. Obviously, you've got Party Boy there, Jamie. I'm sure he will be back. You've got Mamavidi there, who I do like. I watched a lot of him in the Championship last season, wondering whether he could make the step up to Premier League quality level. I think he will be vital for you this season as well. Like, obviously, you didn't have Winks in there, did you? There's quite a few players that you had missing in that game. It was a B-side, as I looked at it. I think, you pretty much agreeing with that there. I would say today will be a different game altogether. You guys had a full week off. We had the game in the week, which we all know hampers European teams. We've seen it this weekend. I mean, my God, the game last night between Liverpool and Villa, who both played Champions League, was crap. City, we've laughed at their performance already. When you play in Europe, it does have an effect. Like the fatigue that creeps in. You say it shouldn't. These are professional players, and they should be handling all of these games. You want to be in the big competitions, you have to play 2 games a week. It does have an effect. Don't care what anybody says. So you having a fully fit weekend, full preparation, definitely plays into your hands. The one thing that would probably give me the edge in this game and confidence is the old Trafford Factor and Ruud's last game. Shouldn't, but you understand what football's like sometimes. The atmosphere can win a game. I just feel like it will be up today. There's the excitement of what's coming tomorrow. I think that will get us through. And then, just like I said, the players that we have got coming back that could help the midfield out, and Ahmad coming to form is a massive one for us right now, because he is absolutely lethal right now and is our best forward.
Good. Just before I let you go, because are you going to the game? Because you said you're in the centre, you're going to the game. Before I let you go to have a pint at the local. I take it you're bound to be going for a Leicester victory. Sorry, a United victory. Sorry, Adam, I didn't mean that. Slip of the tongue. What do you think the scoreline? Come on, I ask this to everyone that comes on about the scoreline. Are you going to a convincing game, or is it going to be a tight one? What do you think? Do Leicester have a chance of sneaking anything, or is it just going to be the Old Trafford factor? Do you think? Going to be a game.
I think it'll be 3-1 United, to be a close game at 2-1, and we may catch you on the break and finish it off late on with a 3-1 win. That's how I see it. Obviously, I'm not taking anything away from you boys. I understand, like everything I just said then, with the better build-up for you, a chance with a better team, nothing in that Carabao Cup game for me in terms of what we can look into this one with. It's going to be a tight game. I said it at the start, didn't I? Yes. Everyone can beat everyone in this Premier League this season. It doesn't matter who you are. You don't have to look at Wolves and Bournemouth and how they played against City. Like Forest beating Liverpool at Anfield. Like anything can happen this season. So I wouldn't be surprised with any result today at all. I really wouldn't.
Well, I'm hoping. Literally, I always go for the old Desmond on away games. Old 2-2. I'll be happy with a point at Old Trafford, just like we were back on May the 1st in 2016. I was very happy with a point back then. And I'll be more than happy with a point. Sorry for rubbing that one in. But yeah, I'll be happy with a point today, that's for certain. Adam, it's been much appreciated. I'll let you go, pal. I know you're a busy man with all your content. Where can people find you, mate? There you are. There it is in the background.
Yeah, FUTV, Forever United TV on YouTube and all socials. It's been an eventful week, put it that way. You only have to look on the channel to see the sort of ruckus I've caused this week.
Very controversial of you, Adam. Very controversial. All right, then, pal. Thanks a lot, mate. We'll let you go. We'll see you soon. There's Adam Stock. Thanks a lot, Adam. Let's get Reed in. Reed is there. Reed is on the... Where are you, Reed? Having a pit stop?
Yeah, we're at the at Knutsford services at the moment.
So how far do you think you've got to go then? Another hour or so?
Yeah, about another hour.
And what's the Graham? I mean, you've seen us before. Reed is on the bus. There he goes all the time. What's your feelings on today then, Graham?
Sneaky win.
A sneaky win, Reedy. I'm not sure you're going to be so positive, are you?
If Samari starts, we're going to win.
Ooh, there we are. That's confidence from him. Graham, we're talking as Reedy mentioned Samari there. Do you think Samari could play with Wilf, but it would mean certain things that have to change? I think you'd have to drop Fatwa, make Bowen Naughty play on the right, and Wilf play in a more advanced role. But if Cooper wants to keep his front four as normal, I can't see Wilf and Samari starting. It's going to be one or the other, isn't it, Graham?
Well, I think that's the issue. You either play Samari or you play Ndidi, unless you take out our left winger. But it's just going to. I mean, it's just going to imbalance. I mean, I noticed on the City website the pictures of Ayew. Normally, they put a player up that's playing. So maybe he's starting today, given the fact that he knows where the goal is. It's a nice problem to have. I do think that now the games, like we've been saying before, anybody can beat anybody. And the last 20, 30 minutes of a game is probably, a bit like rugby is these days. It's your finishes. It's who you bring on. And if you could bring on Samari and somebody else for the last half hour, maybe bring in the substitutes early, he could... he could do a job. So I'm worried because we played, the Fatwa had a great cameo important performance and still hasn't really lived up to that. I'd like to bring him on when players are tiring. So we shall see. I think he will go slightly defensive, although it's a no-brainer game, isn't it?
It is. Reedy, is there any Leicester fans there? Because you're looking like you're the only one on the bus at the minute. There's no one else seems to be around you. Are you feeling no mates today?
Hey, everyone's in the services getting their drinks. So I thought I'd jump on before I go in and get my drink. So.
And what's the atmosphere on the bus? Because you're on the Ashby Colville bus, aren't you?
Yeah, it's all right. Again, people have kind of like Adam said, that you can't look into the cup game at all. We had a B team out there, they're near enough full strong team out. You can't look at it. And to be honest, when we had the ball, we did look the better team. So we just can't give errors away today. And if we don't give any errors away, and we're good enough to stand up to them, there's every chance we can get a point or even more out of them today. But I think there is certain players that I think haven't been performing too well and need to start stepping up. Mavadidi needs to get his shooting boots on, or even just being a bit more consistent. And then obviously Wilf, which again people have been talking about his stats this season, but over the last 4 or 5 games, I don't think he's really stepped up to the mark. So that's why I think Samari should start after seeing his performances the last couple of games.
Yeah, Graham. I mean, we've scored in every single game. Like someone's commented that we've scored in every game, but we don't seem to be tight enough at the back. And I think, like Adam said, with the Old Trafford factor, could that be our downfall today? Is it going to be the defence? Have we got to tighten up that much, or is it just individual mistakes that's costing us week in, week out?
When he talks about the Old Trafford factor, he means the fact that they didn't give a penalty away for 10 years or something in their own end. I was at a Leicester game, first minute, Speedy's running through, Schmeichel cuts him in half, not even a foul. So it's and that was at the Stratford end. So definite penalty. But I think that I look at it another way. We've got defenders making mistakes, and yes, we've scored every game. But our strikers need to take their chances when we're on top. That game last week, first 20 minutes, we were on top. Mavadidi I think he was more surprised to get the ball where he got it than anything else. But if we're getting 1 or 2 chances in this league, we need to score. And then that means the opposition has to come at us. And that means that spaces open up and we get chances of scoring more. I mean, our keeper's worth, 1 goal a game, maybe 2 goals a game. Mm-hmm. So, I think just blaming the defence and errors, if they feel a bit more confidence of what's happening in front of them. I used to be a goalkeeper. I used to hate it. If I was playing behind, it was back in those days where it was the Arsenal type thing, where every single defender was on the halfway line. So if the ball got through, I got one bloke running at me, on my Jack Jones.
Was that the one with the big stitches in the ball as well, Graham? If it hit the stitches, hurt.
Stitches in the ball, yeah. They didn't have hurt, and we didn't have gloves back in those days. Long. And the woolly jumper got full of water, and my dad's cloth cap would fall off as well. So.
Bonin, read it. He's been an excellent player, and there was a top 50 young players and their value this week in the paper, and they valued him at 48 million, just short of 50 million. Is he worth 50 million? And do you think we could afford that next year, or Brighton not going to let him go?
Everyone's been saying we should have bought the other one, shouldn't we? We got one of them in El Canous, but we had to get the other one on loan. And like I say, he's Argentinian, he plays with Messi. We're not going to be able to get him as much as we want to get him. Brighton's not going to let him go. The only reason they let him go is because obviously they've already got a good enough squad to beat Man City anyway. So it is what it is, and it's annoying, but just hope that he can keep us up on his own if that's the case, and then let him go, and hopefully El Canous by the end of the season should be starting a bit more. So,
I mean, Graham, Bonin, what a player! He showed his. I mean, he's 19. Is he coming up to 20? I think. I mean, things he does. He's 19-year-old.
It's like watching Mirage. Obviously he's not a winger, but watching Riyad again. It is what it is. Like they say, never fall in love with a lone player. But if we stay up next season and we've solid position, maybe if we can afford a £48 million player. It's the financial fair play that's stuffing. It's not the money side of things. But look at Brighton. As the Man United guy was saying earlier on, the thing that I've noticed more about the Premier League, as season goes on and you stay in that division for a while, you get better. You're still going to get the top 4 or 5 that are going to challenge to win it, but every team is capable of taking points off you. Look at the teams we've lost to. Look at how Forest are doing. And like he said, the European Cup. I mean, that stuffs them up as well, because the European Cup for them is great because they have a massive squad and can afford it. But it doesn't, teams like to play virtually the same team week in and week out.
Right, Jamie, I need to go. I'm going to go and get a drink, but I'm going to put my score predictions in and then say I'll take 2-2 today. I'll go Desmond as well.
You win Desmond as well, same as me. All right then, pal.
I'll take a point, but it could be more.
Are they calling last orders then? Are they calling last orders, really?
No, my dad's bought me a drink, so I better go and get it.
Oh, you lazy sod. How lazy are you? Well then, Reedy, we'll speak to you later. See you after the game, pal.
See you in a bit.
Graham, there's been a lot of talk the last few weeks. I wanted to get your opinion on this, and I think I know which way you got to go. The Forest and Ipswich games, the fans got what they wanted in team selections, but it didn't quite pan out, did it? We got hammered by Forest because of the mistakes. Ipswich, we were lucky to get a point, but we got a point away from home. Do we need to go back to the way we were playing, or keep going with the system he has been playing?
Yeah, I think it's system and personnel. The first 20 minutes were Enzo ball, weren't they? Last week, we were, and then you got to score. The ability to be able to change to be able to play different. What I'm more excited about what we're doing is the way that it's the spirit, i.e. Foxes never die. And we get to play. I'm not one of those just kick it up the park people, but we seem to be much better on the front foot. We do seem to be more of the Leicester that we enjoy watching that football. So I think as the team progresses, I know it's like they say he doesn't know his best team yet, but who could predict that he could get tune out Samari? Who can predict that he's bringing other players in that are doing it? Who's to predict that Bonin is not going to make that mistake again? And that's why but that's why Brighton sent him there. Said learn your stuff, make your whoopsies, but do it not on our watch.
Yeah, because everyone keeps calling me a dinosaur. So if I'm a dinosaur, God knows what you are, Graham, compared to me.
And the Eber, I think, single-celled.
Well, probably an Eber, yeah. But the thing is, though, that position, I used to be taught, if in doubt, kick it out. That's simple as that. Not try and dribble through 10 players and play. But that's modern day football, though, now, isn't it? Unfortunately, that's what we've got to see. And also, what I have been happy with as well is there's a little bit of dark arts coming back into the game, bit of time wasting here, and even Leicester's fight and spirit is coming back. I'm not sure whether that's classed as a dark art, but the dark arts seem to be coming back into the game, which for me, I don't know about you, but for me, it's fantastic. Well,
I think Ayew is the player that does all that, the little tug at the back, the little turnaround. Oh, I'm going to be fouled again. Although he's not, until he scored 2 goals, but he's not the sort of guy that everybody goes, he's going to score loads of goals, because he's never in his career. But when he came on, I can't remember the game recently, when we were losing, he brought balance to the left-hand side of the pitch and a kind of control. It's a bit like Westergaard. Yes, he's slow. He turns slower than the QE2, but when he does get the ball, they know that he's not going to give it up easily. And opposition have to go, well, is he going to break a line with this pass, or is he going to pass it to Wicks or whatever? I feel that we're moving on, as the Arabs would say, shway shway, which is slowly.
Or pok or pok, slowly.
Slowly. So I think I really would like us to get a win today, but it's going to be one of those games where it could all be over within 10 minutes, and your man's back on the bus, back to Knutsford city limits. But I just hope for a good game and a sneaky 3 points. Going for a draw would be the safe option, but I don't feel safe today. Now, and seeing that their noisy neighbours got beaten by Brighton, there's always hope. Yeah,
because last time we played there, we drew 1-1, didn't we? And was it that game when we had the goal disallowed? Nacho had or it was classed as a free kick. He went down like he'd been shot, and then we beat them the year before in COVID, the 2 years before in COVID. Luke Thomas got an absolutely worldie, didn't he? And so on. Post. Yeah. So if we get a little bit of that fight, bit of spirit, the old, like you say, Foxes never quit. That it could work in our favour today. I'm trying to be as positive ever. There's not been much negativity today. There's been a little bit, but there's been more positive today, which is quite nice to see through the fans. It's not really as toxic as it normally is on here on a Sunday morning, Graham. Maybe that's because it's a preview show and we're not talking it.
Try again later. But I think the other thing with players that we've got coming through and that, people need to remember, and it's not like, oh, we were in the first division once or whatever. No, there is such a major difference between the Championship and the Premier League. Pace, lack of strength, lack of making mistakes. And we have a balance between players that have been there from the start to finish, have done it all, got the badge, got the trophy. And then we've got some younger players. I mean, who would have said, he's not the finished article yet, but Christensen would come back into the fold and do what it is. What I want is Vardy to score and do a knee slide straight up to Ruud van Nistelrooy and just...
it's all mine. It's all mine.
Yeah, that's it. Still got it, son.
Yeah, still got it. You finished. I've still got it. But yeah, so you're saying, did you say you wanted, you're going for a win then, I presume, today, Graham? Yeah?
I'll go for I can even see us stop. Clean sheet. Let's go 1-0.
Positive. Well, I'll just remember to me, you're talking about the difference between the Championship and the Premiership. 2 years ago, you had Burnley, Luton, and I can't remember who else went up. All three came straight back down, didn't they? And then this year, the three that have come up, it took until the 7th or 8th game for Leicester to win the first game, and then Ipswich haven't won theirs. Wolves and Southampton both won now. So it's taken the time. There's still a huge gap between them, isn't there?
Well, I think the issue again is that, and I bet you this season will be right, is I think that 2 of the 3 teams that came up will go down. And, hopefully the other one will be West Ham or Everton for a change. But I think something in the stats that our performance, although not stellar or outstanding, has been better than the last 5 or 6 seasons of teams that have come up. And obviously, remembering what happens today, is that we've only lost 4 of those games. We've drawn 4, lost 4, and we've won 2. It's not like it's, look at, we haven't, touch wood, we haven't lost 4 in a row, but let's see.
Oh, yeah. I'm unsure, Graham, of what some people wanted at the beginning of the season. A lot of people were happy with 17th. Oh, let's finish 17th, stay up, and then build on it. Now, all of a sudden, then it's like, oh no, we're better than this. We've got to be better than this. We need a new manager. But I just don't understand the mindset of some people at all, to be honest.
Look, a lot of people have made up their mind. I mean, he was not my first choice as manager, but you had people. No, but you got people queuing up before the season. There were some people saying, well, can we sack him now because of the results in the pre-season? There are people that don't want him at the club and have got themselves into that mindset, and now are waiting for that. I mean, today, I can honestly tell you, the minute Man United score, whatever social media site you're on, it will light up like a Christmas tree by the usual small group of usual suspects who will be calling for the manager's head. And I told you so. And this guy doesn't know his tactics. He doesn't know his best team. Last week, or the last couple of weeks, he's played the team that everybody said he should play. And maybe some of them think that made him do it. But guess what? It's not that simple. I think, again, dinosaur to an amoeba. I grew up playing Sabutio, yeah? Maybe a little bit of blow football before then, but Sabutio, yeah? It didn't make me think that I could manage Leicester City or any football club. You've got FIFA and you got FIFA and manager, whatever it is, where, boys and girls, the algorithms work out to make you win so that you play the game more. It doesn't mean that, because somebody's got an expected goal difference of 6.72.
Oh, don't get me on that expected goal difference. People keep, but our expected goal difference was this and that. And I says, you don't win games on bits of paper and computer facts. You don't win games like that. You win it on a piece of grass on the top of earth. You win it on that. You don't win it on paper. And people get really annoyed. But I'm thinking, you don't win it on stats.
But also the fact has the player had a bad curry 2 nights before and he's lost a lot of fluids. Is his wife having an affair with the club captain? There are many reasons, has he dropped 20 grand at the casino earlier on in this week? None of these stats take into consideration the human element. Yeah, we've had players, players in football. Everybody's, I don't want to pass to him. I don't like him. Yeah.
I'm just thinking, Graham, all them 3 things you said about a dodgy curry, the captain having an affair with someone's wife, and 20 grand at the bookies, I can think of 3 players straight away. As soon as you said it, I thought of 3 Leicester players straight away in the past.
Yeah. No, I know exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah. But yeah, it's all good fun until it turns bad, isn't it? I think that's Macca actually that said this about John Terry. Yeah, that was last year. That was, wasn't that the year before? That was when John Terry was here. So I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately.
No, it's not. It's not him, but we all know who it is.
We certainly do. But it's been much appreciated having you on. Are you? Can you get it over there quite easily watching the football, or allegedly watching on a?
No, I don't watch it on any dodgy stream. You've got to remember that, and again, if I have to fight off the Man City boys because this is Man City's hometown. So, but no such luck today. And I normally get my screen. Sometimes I'm the only person in the bar, and it's just me watching. Occasionally, somebody will turn up and go, "Oh, I'm a Leicester fan." But Man United today, it'll be full of Mancs.
We do that loud and proud, will you?
Yeah, well, yeah, yes, I can't. I mean, despite the fact of my reputation, but I cannot control myself. If we score, it's all bets are off.
I'm the same. I could never sit in a home end when Leicester are playing away. I couldn't do that at all, pal.
No.
I couldn't do that. But Graham, you're there for the Chelsea game, same as me. Well, they're actually the next 3 games, aren't you?
Yeah, well, let's have a beer.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. We'll have a beer. More than likely after the game of the Chelsea one, because not before. It's a bit early for a beer.
It is, isn't it?
Even though I've been in Spain for 20 years.
It's the man that runs a bar in Mallorca. When is it too early for a beer?
I have to say that. 20 years here. I still have the odd beer early, but not that many anyway. All right then, Graham. Cheers, pal. So you're going for a win, and I'm going for a 2-2 draw. Much appreciated. Go and enjoy your party at Ocean Beach with Wayne over the border, and we'll see you later, Graham. Thanks a lot, mate.
Take care. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, pal. Not a problem. Anytime. There we go. There's Graham from Abu Dhabi, not Saudi Arabia, but that's the same thing, I think. But much appreciated. Like I said, I'm going for a 2-2. Graham's going for a win. Reedy was going for a Desmond as well. There's a few others going for a 2-2. Quite a lot of people. Tom's just coming from his car. You better not be driving, Tom. Hope you pulled. Oh, you are, aren't you?
Oh, be yourself. I'm in a passenger seat. Let's say that.
Oh, who's taking you today then? You got a special taxi? Oh, right. Okay then. Right. How are you then, Tom? Are you good on the way there?
Yeah, on the way there, mate.
Way?
About an hour, mate. About an hour.
Right, yeah, because you've got a little bit longer to go, haven't you?
Yeah, it's about an hour and 50 minutes from Worcester, so not too bad. Jamie's
is that all? I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah, clear run though, depending, at traffic light, mate. Send me back up and you're 2 hours from anywhere, can't you, in England?
Now everyone's gone. Hopefully you've been watching it. We're talking about the game in general, not about Man U, just about the Leicester. What do you think today, Tom? I know you can be quite positive, but you can also be quite critical at times as well. So come on, what are you thinking?
I like to say, Jamie, I give a fair assessment, if I'm honest with you. I think your guest before is not my biggest fan, let's put it that way. He's not my biggest fan, and we probably would never have a beer together because he thinks I'm very negative towards Mr. Cooper. But look, I've said all along that I'd always give Steve Cooper 10 games to see where we're at and see what he was doing with the club and everything like that. I'm still not convinced about what he's doing, and that's my opinion. I'm not saying I want Cooper out yet, but I'm still not convinced. In today's game, what can you say? It's massive. It's another massive game. After the results yesterday, you're a point away from home. At Manchester United, be a very good point on the road today. What I want to see is, though, and not just another 45-minute performance. We need to start putting some more performances together. I know people say you don't play full 90 minutes in football. No, but you've got to be doing more than turning up for one half and not turning up for the second half. That's when you aren't going to win football matches. Doesn't matter how good you are. You have to put, for me, a performance that is average across the whole 90 minutes. If you do that, you've got more chance of winning games. 45 minutes in football, one half, like we saw against Forest, and then 45 minutes of utter dross against them, where we conceded 3 awful goals. Let's not deny that game. Same against Ipswich. The first 20 minutes, we were by far the better team. We had 2-3 good chances. I agree with Graham. You take your chances with Mavididi, you win the game, probably in my head. But again, we're not taking the chances. But then, from then on to the red card, we were awful. And it was all Ipswich, and it was all Ipswich watching that game. They were the team that looked like scoring, and they did. Once again, it takes us to play against 10 men to get something from it. So I just want to see a performance today where we're 90 minutes of average performance across the whole board. You've got a good chance of going there and get a result. Again, team-wise, I don't think you changed much from the team against Ipswich. Look, I know Samari did well. He's probably the only one who's probably pushing for selection. Bar that, I start the same team near enough, and it's between Samari and Ndidi who starts in that position for me.
But I think you'll find the last few weeks has been a bit of cryptic messages from the Leicester City on social media. The match day picture has always got a player that shouldn't be starting, that you don't think is going to start, that starts. It happened with Fatwa, it happened with Samari against Ricky P the other day as well. And now this morning, Ayew was there. So I've got a funny feeling that Ayew might be starting instead of Fatwa.
And if that's the case, then that's the case. And then, let's be honest, Abdul had a great half against Southampton, a great 25 minutes against Southampton. But against Forest, he wasn't great. I didn't think against Ipswich wasn't one of his best games, bar the cutting side and shooting and a couple of crosses. I didn't think he had a game where he'd go, wow, he deserved to start. Jordan Ayew, 2 games away from home, the last 2 away games, come off the bench and scored crucial goals. And maybe we need that little bit more experience in the team, and maybe we've got too much youth in the team. That's what, not helping us. So, look, it's always tricky. I like Jordan Ayew. A lot of people criticise him. I think he's a workhorse. Yes, he's not very quick nowadays. We know that. But I think you know what you're going to get with him. He's going to give 110%. He's going to win your fouls and free kicks in around the penalty area and could drag you up the park more. But his work rate to get back and cover Ricky P is probably something that we're lacking at the moment. And as Justin's got criticised the last few, the first few games for conceding too many goals on that right-hand side, you probably could say the same against Ricky P. The game against Ipswich, that was a mistake from him, letting the ball drop over his head, and Abdul hasn't come around and covered him enough to clear the ball. So, look, that right-hand side is our weak spot at the moment. It's still a weak spot. So, maybe putting Jordan Ayew in there will help us shore that side up a little bit more and give him a bit more cover.
Yeah. One thing that a few people have said this day about McAteer, he seems to have fallen off the radar completely. Do you think there's any chance of him being involved today? Or I don't know. It just seems strange. Last year he was the best thing since sliced bread. Now all of a sudden he's struggling to get in the matchday squad.
It is a strange one because, he signed a new contract in the summer, keeping him at the club long term. We all thought this was going to be another season. He pushed on again. And when he's played, he hasn't looked too bad when he's come on and played. I thought against Man U away in the Cup, he did pretty well and caused some problems down left and the right wherever he was picking the ball up. But for some reason, he's gone with a bit more experience on that left-hand side now. He's playing Mavadidi there. But if we're honest, I don't think Mavadidi's done much in the last few games. So, yeah, it's a strange one. He hasn't really kicked on. Obviously, he's not really in Cooper's plans because he can't get in the matchday squad most of the time. Cooper is relying on Abdul and Mavadidi. Obviously, then you've got the option of El Khanous and Buonanotte as well as Jordan Ayew. He is quite far down that pecking order of who can play on that left-hand, right-hand side of wingers for some reason. And it's a shame, really, because the way he started last season with the goals against Rotherham and other teams, he was flying. He had a bit of an injury then, what put him back. But obviously, the back end of the season, he scored at Preston in the crucial game that got us up. And he started to look back to himself again. But sadly, Steve Cooper don't seem to be having it.
Yeah. Come on then, Tom. What do you think then? Points-wise, score-wise, what we're going for?
As much as I'm a positive person, as keeping a clean sheet today would be a miracle. If Graham gets that right, then he can tell me the lottery numbers later because I can't see it happening. But I'll take a 1-1 draw tonight. I think a draw today at Old Trafford would be a cracking result for us going into the international breaks. I'd be absolutely gutted if we go there and get the same result what happened in the Cup, because confidence-wise, that would absolutely, just before an international break, would knock us off the cliff. So yeah, 1-1 today, mate. A heavy defeat could be really, really bad for this team mentally going into another international break. What we don't need, no one wants any more international football. We've had enough of it with the summer, and now a third international break after 12 games into the season. It's getting a bit boring now, international football. Let club football have a bit of fun for the time being.
Oh, well, we've got it till March now, so we should be all right. There's no breaks, only for the snow and the waterlogged pitches later on in the season.
Oh, Jamie, they're not waterlogged pitches anymore. They're bowling greens. Come back in the day when...
Your grass levelling technician courses you keep going on. Right then, Tom, we'll let you go. And we'll
Cheers, mate.
speak to you very soon. Enjoy the day, and thanks for your taxi driver for letting you be on there for a few minutes.
Cheers, mate. See you in a bit.
Cheers. See you later, Tom. Thanks a lot, pal.
Bye.
Be good. Enjoy. Yeah, Tom always speaks a lot of sense. I speak a lot of nonsense, but Tom is the one that speaks a lot of sense. It's been absolutely great for joining me. Thank you, Adam, for joining me from Forever United TV. Absolutely fantastic channel. And Graham from Abu Dhabi, and Tom and Reedy travelling down to the game. Like I say, been much appreciated. Thank you for joining me. So it's ciao, ciao, adios, goodbye, yakida. Come on, you foxes. Let's get them points today.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.